Alright, good afternoon everyone. Today is Friday, February 15th, 2013. Let's go over the results to start with. It took us, what did it take us? 13 minutes and 2 trades to make our 2 points this morning. We were at $100 even, $100 per contract even when we got the 2 points done. I took one of the trades was in pre-market, and then the other trade, I'll show it to you in just a minute here. Our results for the morning were, we were minus 8 ticks on the Russell, we were plus 21 ticks on gold, and plus 11 ticks on crude oil. It was 7 trades altogether that we took this morning. Okay, so that puts us on the month. We are up $1,690 per contract. All right, $1,690 per contract on the month. That is where we stand right now. So I'm gonna have to do some bigger gain days over the next couple of weeks here to get to the 4,000 mark on the month. But we'll shoot for it and let's see what we get. All right. Let's do the euro thing that Dwayne was just talking about. Oh, wait a minute. If you have not taken a free trial with us, go to www.cfrn.net/apply. Sign up for our free trial. In the free trial, you get access to all the charts and indicators that you see here. You get to sit in our live trading room for 2 hours per day for 5 business days. You get to ask Dwayne and I all the questions that you want, and we will do our best to answer all your questions. You get to see the trades set up live. You get to see us take the trades live. Even if I don't take them, I try to tell you every time I see a trade setting up. Okay, yes, 5 luxurious days, right, Frank? 5 luxurious days in our live trading room. And that's it, all right? So you get access to just about everything we have to offer, except you don't get access to the members area and you don't get to go to the partners meeting. That's it, all right?
Down to 5 luxurious days thing until the Triumph episode fades from memory.
Okay, all right, well, we'll tone that down a little. Not 5 luxurious days, 5 wonderful days. 5 fantastic days, 5 hopefully profitable days. Hopefully profitable days.
Okay, back to you, Mr. Recap.
I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Anyway, let's do the euro stuff right now. Okay, on the 6E. I had highlighted it. Now, last night in the partners meeting, when Dwayne put it out, it was right here in the partners meeting last night. That's when Dwayne sent it out, and I had said right here that these were coming together. We didn't really have any trades set up right here. It looked to be kind of topping right here, possibly moving down. It did give an opportunity to get long for a couple of ticks there, for about 6 or 8 ticks. It dropped down, gave an opportunity for a short in here, then moved up and down a little bit. But the trade finally triggered in right over here. I had drawn this blue line on it when Dwayne had put it in there last night. This was the point right here when the European markets opened up this morning that the trade was triggered. Okay. It hit the level that Dwayne mentioned, 133.45, and if you wanted to drop down to a smaller time frame, a 4-tick range frame, the entry was right here. Okay, the entry wasn't at 133.45. The entry was down here. The down close right here. It was at 133.36. Okay, so you could have gotten in there at 133.36, gotten out down here possibly. It did go pretty much straight down for all 23 of those ticks. There wasn't a lot of indecision in there. It took about, I don't know, what did it take? Half an hour? About that, maybe a little less than a half an hour to go from here down to here. All right, that's a significant gain in a half an hour. Now, it bounced up from there all the way back up here. Important levels are always tested. It got retested right in there. So if you were looking for the shorting opportunity, the next shorting opportunity, there are a couple of ways to skin this. If you were a partner, you could have shorted right here. You would have known from the partners meeting last night. Right there was a good spot to short. Otherwise, you could have shorted. There wasn't much divergence to speak of in here, and the black line's still up above the green, so you would have had to have waited until right over here. Okay, right in here. But the first short would have been up here, based on what we went over in the partners meeting last night. The next short would have been right in there, so you could have gotten a couple more out of that, depending what you did with your stop. If you moved your stop up to break even, you would have either gotten out at break even or taken a little bit of profit. If you left your stop alone, you would have been in for the whole move down. The next one came up here, retested it up here. Now we're only looking for the shorting opportunities in here, right? Because we're anticipating it's going to go down. So the next shorting opportunity off of here, if you just sold it up here, then that's okay. But if you wanted to wait on the smaller time frame for it to give you the opportunity, it was right here, okay, at 33.36. Again, that number, 33.36. See that? Same exact number. Sold a couple of times. 33.36, and then it dropped down 8 ticks, which is the equivalent of 2 points on the ES. Okay, so using the shorter time frames or the smaller time frames to minimize the amount of risk required. That's how you could have played that. All right. When it was playing out in here, this is a head, this is a shoulder, this is a shoulder. I think last night when this was happening, I had pointed out this was a shoulder, this looked like a head forming, and we're going to see another shoulder over here, preferably lower than this shoulder is what I had said. We did get the other shoulder right in there. If you guys that were in a partners meeting last night, you might remember me doing this. I drew the other thing on there. We did get the other shoulder, but we didn't break the neckline. It moved up before it came down to break the neckline. Okay. Anyway, that was the euro, and that was all the stuff based on the tweet that Dwayne had given last night. Once we got into the morning session here, I didn't take any trades on the euro, but there were a couple of them available. Right here, there was a nice move up. If you missed that first one, you couldn't really get into it on the second one in there. There was one setting up in here, the down close right here. You would have needed 33.55. It drew down to 33.63, so that's just 8 ticks. You may have stopped out, depending on where you entered this. You probably wouldn't have entered at 33.55 though, because it didn't go lower on the next bar. It went straight up. So you probably would have stayed in this trade for a little while anyway. And that was it. There wasn't really much to do in there this morning on the euro. Okay, there was that first trade, but that was it. Let's see. Let's jump over here. Okay. You had a black line entry before that. I'm not going to jump back into it right now. Let's go back here on the crude oil. We took 2 trades on crude this morning. Both trades were winning trades. There were a ton of trades available, but we only took 2 of them. Okay, when I say a ton, I mean probably more than 5. But we only took 2. This is the pre-market activity for those of you guys who are wondering if there's something that you can trade in the pre-market. There was a ton of pre-market activity in here. All right, a ton of it, and there was it would have been easy to take advantage of these trades in here had I been watching. Okay, to gain 2 points from this, right there is your down close. Actually, right there is your down close. You could jump in there, drop down, pulled back a little bit, jump in there, drop down, pull back a little bit, and jump in there. I mean, any one of those would have made 2 points on the way up. Let's see, you had your bullish cross. Everything was good right in here. You would have gotten long right there for that move up. There was no other entry on the way up right there. Let's see, over here on the way down, we didn't have anything on that one. On the way up, your trend line would have been down here like this, so you wouldn't have had anything over there. But just wanted to show you there was plenty of opportunity for those of you guys that want to trade in the pre-market. This was our first trade on the crude right here. It came back up, tested the BBC, and gave a down close, but we had blue on the cycle, so we needed a down close below the trend line. All right, we got in right here below the trend line. We took some profit down here. Okay, I think we took 5 ticks profit on that. Right, what did we end up with on crude? Oh no, we took 10 ticks profit on that. Sorry, we took 10 ticks profit on that. It wasn't that a nice trade? It was textbook. It was, well, I say textbook, it was picture book. It was just like the picture is going to show here whenever it populates. Right here. All right. The cycle was blue, so you wait for the close below the trend line, and you jump in. That's what we did. The next one was over here. This time we didn't have to wait for it to close above the trend line because it hit the BBC and the cycle was still red. Okay. And this was another one, just like the picture. You get your bullish cross, your space, it pulls back down, tests the BBC, and gives an up close. While the cycle is still blue right in here. Did I say blue? I mean, did I say red? The cycle was still blue in here, so we could just take the up close. I don't know why I'm talking about this one. I didn't actually take that one. But that was a valid trade in there. This was the same valid trade, just a short side. Over here, the same thing again, just the short side. Another one right here, just the short side. This was the one that I took on the long side. We did need to close. We did need to close above the trend line. And I jumped in here and I took a quick tick. I took a tick quickly. Whatever. I took one tick profit. I moved my stop up quickly. Okay. It did end up working out even better. You know, the way that it was coming together here, I didn't know if it was going to get through the swing high. That's what I was questioning, if it was going to get through there, and it chopped around for a while. It finally went through it. That was our last trade this morning on the crude oil, but there was another one in here, right there. The down close was right there. You could have shorted that right there. All right, and that is also a trade from what we went over last night. If you look at the picture that we drew last night, take a look at that. That was our last trade on the crude oil. All right. The Russell, we took one losing trade on the Russell this morning. Whatever. Let's see. Okay. We have in here, this was the Russell this morning. This was a little pre-market. All right. But you could see it was just bouncing up and up and up. There were a couple of opportunities in here. There was this one pre-market, this one right at the open. You would have needed to close above the trend line, so this right here, well, let's just draw the trend line to make sure. There's the trend line, so this right here would have been the spot to enter on that. All right, right in there. Then we lost our divergence. Then divergence was the wrong way. Then I shorted over here, and I actually got stopped out on this one. This was my one loss of the morning right here. All right, there was another opportunity over here on the Russell. This was after the morning session ended, but right in there was the trend line. But you didn't need it because the cycle was still red. So it pulled back, tested the BBC, and gave a down close, and there it went. All right, that was the Russell this morning. Now gold. Gold was my friend today. We took a couple of trades on gold. Actually, we took, how many trades? 4 trades on gold. Let's see. Our first trade was in the pre-market here. Is that even today? Yeah, it was right here. This was our first trade in the pre-market. We got long in here on the bounce off the BBC with the bullish divergence. You know, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4. Right there, we got long on that. And it moved up above the, it closed right there above the MA1, so I moved my stop to break even. And it came back and took me out of break even. Then it went right up to our 2-point target. That would have taken me 1 minute to get our 2 points this morning, but it stopped me out there. And then the market started moving around pretty quick, and I missed this trade and this trade, and then it got choppy, and I left for an hour, and I came back. I came back over here at 9:30. We missed this trade right at 9:30 and this trade right at 9:30, but at 9:41 or so, we did jump into this one. We got this trade right here. We took 10 ticks profit, and that was our 2 points right there. All right, it was 9:43 by the time it ended. Bang! That's right, Frank. Bang! And it was, I mean, I had put a target on this. Normally on gold, I don't have a target just for situations like this. But I had put a 2-point target on it because I just wanted to get out with the 2 points. And we did. We got out with our 2 points, and I'm not upset about that I missed the other, 40 ticks. but it happens. I got profit on it, and I was good with that. Our next trade on the gold, there was one that set up over here. We needed to close. Actually, this wasn't a good trade because the black line was below the green line. So let me take that off of there. Don't want to mislead anyone. There was a trade right over here. The up close above the trend line is what we would have been looking for on this. I missed it. Right there, the up close above the trend line. It took it a while, but it finally moved up. The next trade that we took was over here, just a down close off the BBC. If we go back to our picture, this one, pretty much textbook, right? Your bearish cross, your space, your pullback test, down close, bearish divergence. All right, All that stuff happened right there. So I took some more profit on that. I think I took another 10 or something like that on that one. I'm pretty sure I took 10 ticks on that one. I missed the follow-up trade right here. There was another one right there that I missed. Then there was a long trade right here that went for a couple of ticks. A short trade in here that I missed, and you can see I missed a whole bunch right in here. It really started to move, and I missed all that. Okay, but there were plenty of opportunities. We were talking about it. I was showing things to everybody at that time. I was showing everybody a lot of stuff in here during this time. There were opportunities in here to short in a bunch of places. Right in here, right in there, right in here. Let's see, even up here, you could have shorted up there. And that is about it, because the trend line here was going sideways like this. So there were 4 opportunities to take advantage of that move right there, okay, if you didn't grab it up there. Got very sideways in here, then it started moving back up to recover some of that. I jumped in up here and I took 1 tick profit on this, okay. Yeah, there were a whole bunch of the black line entries. If you guys were, that's a thing that's just for partners, the whole black line thing, okay. You guys can go look at that in the members area. All right. More black line entries up here too, where we didn't have any of the other entries. Then we get into here. Just needed well, you needed a down close below the trend line actually. So right in here would have been the spot. The down close right there went for about 6 or 8 ticks. Then it got back and forth across the BBC, so there wasn't a lot of opportunity in there unless you were doing the black line entries. It changed here, but we had a trend line we had drawn in here, so we didn't get an opportunity to get long, and then that was it. That was it to the morning session. All right, we ended plus 21 ticks on gold. The NQ, I didn't take any trades on the NQ today. I didn't take a single trade on the NQ. I highlighted one area in here that wouldn't have worked out. There were a bunch of other areas in here that may or may not have worked out. I suggested not doing anything in here. I said it was a little long in the tooth. And then the NQ got very, very choppy right here for some reason. I don't know why, but it did. And it turned around and dropped through over here. Okay. Oops. My trend line needs to move. There it is. Give a down close, drop through right in there. Another one over here and drop through. And another one over here. So it did start moving. We didn't get any of that. Okay, we didn't take any of those trades. But the places to enter would have been the down close below the trend line. Well, on this one, you could have been the down close right there off the PBC. On this one, it would have been below the trend line, and this one below the trend line. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions about any of this stuff? I know a lot of the partners are typing stuff in, but does anybody who's not a partner? There's a whole bunch of you out there too. Do you guys have any questions? If you do, just ask them, and we'll be happy to answer them. There's no short right here on the NQ right now. All right. Let's jump over here to the ES because we did have a couple of opportunities on the ES this morning. The first one right here, we had bullish divergence, a bullish cross, and the BBC was actually getting up out of the weekly trading zone. The first opportunity was the up close right here with a blue cycle and bullish divergence. All right, if you didn't get it there, you could have gotten it there. If you didn't get it there, you could have gotten it there. If you got it there, you got 2 points. The next one was over here, and that gave 1 3/4 points, I think. 1.5, 1 3/4 points. I was telling everybody when it got up here and the green line was up in the cycle, I said I would lock some profit in there, lock in a point, take your risk off the trade, and that was the top right there. It turned around and started to come back down. Again, if you were doing the black line trade, you would have been shorting right in here, that thing from the partners meeting. If not, then you wouldn't have been doing anything because it was going right into a zone. All right, like it is right now. Right now you see we have bearish divergence and it's pulling back up to test the BBC. Typically, if we didn't have a weekly trading zone right below us, we'd draw a trend line up these bottoms like that. And we'd say we either need, well, because we have blue on the cycle, we need a down close below the trend line. A down close below the trend line. All right, but that's it. That's all we got. Let's see, I'm going to time is it? 12:41. Well, I'll look at a little natural gas. So we already did the euro. The natural gas this morning, it was pre-market stuff more than anything. Black line trades. There was one here where we broke the trend line, moved up. This was the black line trade from the stuff we went over in the partners meeting. And that was pretty much it. There's a spot right in here where you could have taken a trade, but this was outside of the live trading room this morning. Okay, right in here. The down close with the bearish divergence right here. Actually, it just did it again right now, right here at 154. This would be your trend line. You have blue on the cycle, so you need the down close below the trend line. So 154 would be your spot right there. That happens to be below the MA1, below the black line. I would look for a move down to 145. Yeah, 145 probably. All right. That is the natural gas. The soybeans, we didn't spend much time looking at the soybeans this morning because they just didn't look like they were coming together with anything for us. There was one opportunity right in here. When price was down here, I said, on this red bar, I said, if we get 2 up bars in a row, we'll have some divergence, and then we can start looking for a short trade. We did get 2 up bars in a row. We did get divergence. We did get a down close below the trend line. It only went about 3 or 4 ticks, though, and then it turned around and went back up. I wasn't actually looking at it after that. This is where I said that, and then it did everything that I said, but we didn't go to look at it. Right now it's testing the BBC. We have red on the cycle. This down close, you could actually enter right here at 14.20 even. 14.20 even would be a spot you could enter on the soybeans. Okay. That's it. That is it. So watch this on the natural gas. Should get down to 145 in that area, probably. If you close down below this level right here, you've broken it, so you should get down there. And watch the soybeans. Soybeans for a move down, probably down here to 18. Okay, from 20 down to 18, so a 2-cent move. And the natural gas is starting to move. So watch for the green line to get down into the cycle. When the green line gets down into the cycle, you can anticipate that it's going to bounce off it again. All right. All right. Good, Bert. I just saw your statement in there, and let's see. We have. Yeah, let's do that. No, we can just do it. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Well, just to the end of the month. Sorry, Dwayne. I'm responding to your text right now. Okay, I'm going to... okay. Yeah, I am. I was responding to your text that I just saw you typed in. But let me shut the recording off. Or actually, we can leave it in the recording if you want.
I don't know. Just go ahead and turn the recorder off.
Okay, I'll just turn the recorder off. All right. If nobody's got any questions, then I'm going to wrap up the recap right here. And